Welcome back to another video on Epyx Toolkit Basic. This is video number 3 in our series. In the last two videos, we looked at the Sprite editor for creating shapes, which could be assigned to sprites in our programs. In the second video, we looked at actually bringing those shapes into our programs and assigning them to sprites 1 through 8. In this video, we're going to take a look at actually moving the sprites around the screen. If you've ever attempted to move a sprite in BASIC, the common way might be use of a for next loop. You'll know that in BASIC 2.0, without any assistance or add-on, the sprite can move very slowly. That's because the for next loop and updating the sprite position can only move so fast. Let's take a look at the movement commands that are built into the toolkit. I'm going to go ahead and set the scene here again. We're going to turn the background blue, and we're going to load our demo sprites that we created in the very first video. The first thing we'll do is actually bring Sprite 1 on screen and give it a shape assignment. So I've loaded Sprite 1 at 50,50. I've told it to use shape 14 from the demo sprite file. That's the Commodore balloon, and it's being displayed on screen. Let's add a new command to our collection here. This time I've told Sprite 1 to use a speed of 1, 0. That's speed x, y. But the sprite's not moving yet. We've told it to move. We need to add one more command, which is sprite move. Now we're moving smoothly across the screen and back on again at the other side. Let's go ahead and make some adjustments to this and see what we can do with it. Now this is our X position, and the X position will accept numbers from negative 127 to a positive of 128. Let's go ahead and keep it moving in a positive direction or off to the right. I'm going to increase this number. Let's take it to 3. Moving a little faster now. Again, the sprite is very, very smooth. 5. Let's kick it up to, say, 15. I can't imagine why I need a sprite to move this fast, but let's go ahead and pick it up to 128, which is the top value. That's an interesting effect. I can't imagine what I would ever use that for. Let's take it back down to 2. All right, this time I'm going to reverse the direction of the sprite by giving it a negative number. Again, very, very smooth scrolling is happening here. We can increase the speed. And I could even take it up to negative 127. We've been playing with the sprite's X position on the screen. Let's go ahead and zero that one out. And I'm going to wait until it's about the middle. And we've set the speed to 0, 0. This time we'll take a look at the Y position of the sprite. We'll change the second number. Let's do a positive 3. Now we're moving up screen. Go back in. We'll put a negative number here. So negative 3 to move down screen, changing Y again. And we can change both numbers simultaneously to get a diagonal movement. So right now, negative 3 moving down. I'm going to tell it to give it a positive number in X, which is going to take it across the screen as it's moving down. And of course, we can reverse that. Even completely reverse the direction. All right, so before I changed the speed to 0,0 when I wanted to stop the sprite, there's another way to do it without changing the speed command, and that is to use the sprite freeze command. I'm going to wait till the sprite's somewhere on the screen, out of my way, and we'll freeze the sprite. So there, again, two ways to move a sprite. I can change its position by changing X and Y, and then using X and Y to tell it to do a sprite on at, say, X comma Y. Or I can influence the sprite by changing its speed. I've actually incorporated both of these procedures into a little program I've got already loaded into memory. Let's run that program and take a look at the differences between the two. All right, and what's happening here is I should have probably used the word reset in my program, because now I've got a sprite that's moving across the screen just like we did in our last speed command. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Control Restore and rerun the program. This will happen from time to time. There we go. Now all the sprite movement is back to what was intended here in the program. So there's this balloon moving across the screen at the top. At the bottom, I've got a little cannon that I'm moving. And if you take a look at lines 36 and 38, depending on what is read in the joystick, we'll look at that command in depth later, I'm simply changing the X position. So X equals X minus 4, or X equals X plus 4, and then updating the sprite's position with the sprite at command. Notice how jerky the cannon is as I move back and forth here. It can only move, in this situation, it can only move as fast as BASIC can run the game loop. So as I'm holding down the joystick to move to the left, that's as fast as I can go. Now, in some situations, that may be perfectly suited for the game. It works in this situation. I'm going to press the fire button here and bring out a third sprite. And I'm going to try to hit the balloon here. See if I can time it right. There, we got it that time. And we've told it that if the sprite is collision is detected, to just find a random color to assign to the balloon again. By the way, this entire program is running on the code that you see in the background. All right, it's your turn. Let's see what you come up with before the next video, when we take a deeper look at using the joystick. We'll see you then.